students work in small groups. They have a pro forma that they fill in, and down the side are the strategies, where they fit in and what different tools they can use to use those strategies. That's fed back to the teachers, and we use that as a form of evaluation and as a way to test, I guess, or assess their knowledge of what they have been reading. Some of the comments I've been getting back from my students as well, which when you hear them, it's, oh, it is working. One of the students formulated a question, and I said, where is the answer to this question? Oh, well, here in the caption under this picture, it says da-da-da. Over here in the second paragraph, it says da-da-da. I've put these two sources of information together and that answers the question I formed. That was really very sophisticated thinking. The grade 6 students have been commenting how summarising, paraphrasing will help them in year 7. Again, they actually see purpose for what they're doing, and that is so important. The modelling of our activities, P to 6, has been a very powerful tool for convincing people that it will work, and it works P to 6. Having a prep teacher come in and show how they're using summarising with their prep grade, and a grade 6 teacher showing how they're using summarising with their prep grade, people can see it's not just limited to one area. It sounds sophisticated, but your preps can do it. Vocab across the school. Those activities are available for staff to go into rooms and pick up on, and as part of our toolkit folders, they're going in. These are comments from the leadership team, which is also involved in these. And I'll go back to Margo.
Thanks. This is perhaps something that might be a little bit unique to our meetings here today. We have 2 graduate teachers at our school, and both of them, oh, actually have 3 graduate teachers at our school. One is a specialist teacher. But one of our graduate teachers this year decided to focus on the high reliabilities for her VIT registration. So I thought that was really interesting, that not only did it interest her, but it interested her to such a degree that she thought, well, I want to focus on this for my registration. She believed, I don't know if I said on that previous slide, that initially she was going to do all of them, as you do as a graduate teacher, but then she realised perhaps it was a bit grand, and so she focused on paraphrasing, and she picked that, oh no, maybe I haven't said that yet, but she picked that to challenge herself, but also considering her 1-2 learners, she thought that the paraphrasing would be quite challenging for them because it was quite new for our grade 1-2 students. Oh, that's where it is, yeah. She planned a 10-lesson, a 10-session unit focusing on paraphrasing, and she built into that a really effective assessment and monitoring system as well. And I've got the links there, and they're not working at the moment. I don't know why, but I can tell Lena's standing up to wind us up, so I'll just keep going. But I just, when she presented it at the VIT panel meeting, she was so impressive because she had work samples. She felt really proud of what she'd done. Her grade 2 kids had done such a fantastic, grade 1 and 2, fantastic job with paraphrasing. It kind of blew us away, and it just showed how powerful the learning had been for her, and it also showed that it was making a difference in her classroom. Okay, I think I've got to stop, don't I, Lena? Yeah. Yeah, we have an SIT at the moment. We're looking at how to make all this fit in for next year. And we're at the start of the 3 days at the start of next year, excuse me, we're hoping to have a focus on reciprocal teaching, guided reading, and how they fit in with the HRLTPs. That's already started through our English PLT, but we wanted to do it whole school. We've also developed a capacity matrix to focus our PD for next year. Again, that won't show, but I won't link, but I'm sure you know what a capacity matrix is, that we're asking each staff member to fill out to direct our future learning. And I believe our challenges for next year are to build upon the progress that we've made this year and keep the reading on the agenda, so to speak, and also to look for further opportunities for peer support and observation. And I think that's it. Thank you.
One issue that comes out from all of our work is how does it actually change over time? Now, initially, all we wanted to do was to get some in some places, some different teaching actions being done. Teaching actions where you were saying to the kids, paraphrase, use your meaning-making motor, visualise, and so on. And that was really the lowest level of learning any new behaviour, just doing the action. It's like learning to drive. You first have to do actions. Then you start to learn when to do the actions. And you don't do all the actions when you're driving all the time. And you don't use these actions all of the time. You're able to use some actions some of the time and some at other times, and you automatise them. And then the third level is really adjusting the actions when you use them to suit the situation. Now, for any school, I think it's important that the focus beyond taking where you are, understanding where the staff is in terms of the actions, and moving them up a level. Now, a school like Ivanhoe could really...
Fairfield.
Sorry. Fairfield. That was a Freudian slip. What's the Judy? Could well be to be starting to look at, say, how you'd modify them, say, for high achievers, for the really high achieving kids. There will be high achieving kids in all the schools, but in some of the schools we've really had to focus on the children who, on a state level, would be in the tail for the state. If we've got a school that's got a much higher SFO, we need to say, okay, how can we use them, say, for higher level thinkers, or for engaging with using them much more broadly to pursue particular topics. So I think for the future, that would be one direction I'd be looking at going in. And I think this applies to every school. If in fact the high reliability strategies just stay as actions people do, people will get very sick of them and they won't go anywhere. And what it's important that you as professional leaders do is gradually ratchet up the dialogue. As you see teachers doing them, the next thing is doing them when. The next thing is how do you modify them, as you said, for underachievers? How do you modify them for gifted kids and so on? How do we bring in things like structured phonemic awareness? Now, in my mind, there's actually no difference at all between reciprocal teaching and what we're talking about. The only difference is that we're talking about learning, and reciprocal teaching talks about teaching. Now, the whole focus, the reciprocal teaching fosters paraphrasing, questioning, reading aloud. They're actually all there. So, when you were talking about doing the whole day PD, I was thinking it would be good to say, okay, how can we orient the reciprocal teaching to match different groups within the school to see where they would be going. And at this point, I would like to stress that our focus, my whole focus, really is not on teaching. It's on what students do. It's on student learning. Now, we've had to talk about teaching all the way through, but I believe that one of the real problems we've had with literacy over the last 20 years is that we've focused on teaching and not on what students do. I believe that when we put in place the early years literacy program, we did all the teaching things correctly. But the teaching things didn't necessarily target where all of the children were. That's why I've really wanted to get a focus on student learning. And for me, the bottom line is, can the students say they know things differently? As you suggested they can. Can the students know things differently from when they started? And can they become independent with doing each of these actions themselves? So in terms of that's just my suggestion for the future. But thanks very much. It was,